we are going to have. We'll do like just a quick recap on the teams here. Steel Legion Lux being played by Tarfu, our own mod CD Improv on Urgot, Le Mad Parrot on Bloodstone Lysandra, Sacred Sea on Lee Sin, and Sinner Virtue playing Nunu.
And on the right side, we have Slumberjack on Full Metal Ramus, Riot Aphic on Warring Kingdoms Jarvan IV, Riot Rojan on Woad King Darius, Riot Morgageddon on Exiled Morgana, and Riot Baconhawk playing Earth the Manatee.
Earth the Manatee. Earth's going to win the game. That's just how it is.
The Manatee.
Exiled Morgana. Could she wear less clothes? I doubt it. At least not from the waist up.
Yeah.
Got that gravity-defying top right there. I don't even know how that's possible.
Got those like bracers on the wrists.
Yeah, that's for that's gonna be for blocking Lee Sin kicks.
Yep.
Right there.
Because you can totally do that.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to do is like, as he's flying towards you, Dark Binding, like, right in his face. But I'm sure Morgageddon already knows that. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or Soul Shackles, you know, because he's not going to get away from it.
Look at the 5 heals coming out of Community, and then 3 ignites coming out of Riot.
Also 3 heals. Full Metal Ramus, that Slumberjack doesn't have a Flash or a Ghost. He's running Heal Ignite. So, and
I'm a big fan of the Flash on Ramus, especially for
Flash Taunts.
Yeah, Flash Taunts and Flash Powerballs. Flash Powerball into a taunt. Flash taunt into a Powerball.
Over, like Powerball on one side of the minion wave and Flash over. Like, who did that? I want to say someone did that in the LCS a long time ago.
I used to rock the Rammus back in the day. I used to jungle a lot of Rammus. There were a couple games where I carried so strongly because, you know, they'd have like a 4 AD team, and I'd be able to get like a Thornmail, a Randuin's, and then like my armor was just so ridiculous that my auto attacks would just start chunking people down.
Yeah, that's not the case here. We have Lee Sin and Urgot are basically the only AD that Community has. Urgot is a champion that kind of prioritizes armor penetration. Lee Sin stacks AD, and so he's really the only thing that would be useful against. Tarfu could be running the counter Bruiser Lux Civ HD build, but even then it's still a lot of magic damage.
Yep, and we are on to the Rift. Starting items, the triple Doran's Shield for Rammus being purchased here.
No armor in there, but a lot of
health regen and well, the unique passive, so it doesn't stack, but does get the health regen. I actually like going with a gold per 10 item, and here's the first binding on Sinner Virtue into a taunt. Damage coming down. Aphic didn't want to commit with the standard, just kind of stood there taunting, and oh, big plays coming out of Riot Aphic. He gets the standard, flashes before he touches it.
You know how like the Aphic big plays are dash in, flash out? There was, and you probably saw this before the first game, the like biggest Aphic play would be to walk into the enemy team and force a disconnect. Anyway.
Sinner Virtue in a lot of trouble, goes down for first blood, flash or not. Sacred Sea gonna get taunted under there. Get very low, but first blood's gonna go to Riot right here. You know, the biggest part about that play was the mind game, so they didn't know. They didn't
expect it.
It lulled them into a false sense of security.
Yep. And we really didn't mention
before. Oh no, Sacred Sea goes in, gets taunted. Oh, flash from Baconhawk, but the heals there to save. And Lamad Para is going to die to bleeding and ignite from Morgageddon.
Yep. We didn't really mention before how both teams have quite a bit of crowd control lockdown, especially single target. You have the snares from Lux and Lysandra, along with the, well, bunch of ultimates here. We have the position reverser, the frozen tomb. Riot side, you have dark binding, the taunt, the suppression from Warwick. Really, just a lot of it. Once one lands, they can chain them together really easily. A little more so from Riot because, like, especially the point-click taunts and the point-click ultimate on Bacon Hawk, if you get caught out, you're kind of gone.
Yeah, the bindings have been pretty true so far, creating a kill on a Sin of Virtue for the first blood, and Sacred Sea getting really close to going down. Slumberjack's there, getting a taunt onto CD Improv, who will pop the barrier, just kind of waltz out of there. And now a big trade going on. Aphic jumping in with a standard. Not going to find much. The streamers are flowing on his beautiful melon there.
Anyway, it's community with the poke. Sacred Sea has been pretty low for a while now and just hasn't gone down yet. Center Virtue caught out again.
Yes, there's not enough consume in the world to save him, but it will be a 1-for-1 trade. Lux picking up that kill. Not a bad person to have on the kills. Lux really, really strong in the ARAMs.
Oh yeah. She just has so much pick potential. And like I said, the single target crowd control from both these teams, it just creates a lot of pick potential, but Lux especially. If she lands anything at max range, she can pretty much nuke them down before they can really react. But not a lot of AP on that Lux yet. Tarfu still just sitting on the Chalice and 1 Amp Tome.
And the shields out of Lux are always so strong.
Oh yeah. They can just get a lot of damage if one of the teammates is caught. And so far, teammates have been getting caught.
Yeah, Center Virtue really going for the support role with the... Ooh, Slumberjack getting a little bit too close. Gonna get bound right there. The Black Shield a little bit too late. And he is going to lumber out of there instead of slumber. Sorry. And
Black Shield did its job though. It absorbed almost its entirety of magic damage. Almost.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, that's what I always say.
Call of Doom goes into the enemy
Rojan
team.
looking for the apprehend, doesn't find it. Finds a snowball to the face anyways. And no Poros. Yep, Parrot's going to be caught by a binding. They're going to engage onto this one. And in a tough spot, Sacred Sea's going to get in there with a safeguard, but put himself into a bad spot. They're going to pick up another kill, so 1-4 right now. Riot really kind of asserting an early lead, 700 gold right here.
Yeah, one thing. Oh, here goes
Morgan again is going to walk in. Soul Shackle's only locking down one person, but the dunk comes in. Lee Sin will fall. Nunu soon to follow, and that's Warwick picking up her first kill.
Yeah, that's one thing you really don't want to... Oh, Tarfu's caught by the binding.
Oh, they're actually going to go all the way in for this one. A heal will come out. Aphic taking some big tower damage. Calling into the back line, putting out the counter damage. Bacon Hawk getting so much sustain, but that will be a death to Lumberjack, so a Slumberjack, excuse me, so a double kill right there. And a snowball is going to catch Aphic, so another kill coming out. Tried to be really sneaky, but didn't have the flash up for the big plays.
Yeah, that entire extended engagement was really just started by the fact that Riot hit level 6 way before Community did. Community stayed a little too far forward, got picked off just one by one, and even under their own turrets in the end of it. Lost in the fight, and they're down about 1,500 gold now, but that means everyone has at least gone back to buy on Community side, leaving Morkageddon and Bacon Hawk still 0 deaths and a lot of unspent gold.
Yeah, but no ults burned by Community in that defense.
They didn't have them.
So I think they had them. No, Center Virtue had it like when he came to defend after they were diving, but they didn't waste them. So they have all the ults up for this next engagement. So if, you know, Parrot gets engaged on right here, could ult himself. There's the position reserve for ults himself, just as I predicted. Aphic taking a lot of damage. Center Virtue in the middle with a giant absolute 0. Lots of damage coming down. Rojan very low. Sacred Sea picking up that one with the resonating strike. And this is going to be a mop-up for Community. A 2-for-1 exchange. Slumberjack very low, along with Bacon Hawk and Morkageddon at half health, but neither one of them died yet. So they're both sitting on over 2,000 gold, and they're probably ready to die by now.
Oh yeah. It's always... I don't know if this is really true for anyone else, especially on this team. It's always like a little goal of mine where I try to get as much gold as possible before backing, but Bacon Hawk goes in, he does get taken down by the snowball. Soul Shackles gets 3 members before they're all taken down.
Yeah,
1 for 2 right?
the counter engage coming out of Morgageddon, who had the ult back up. And taking a lot of damage right there, but, you know, Morgana has that passive where all of her spell damage has spell vamp to it, so she should be able to kind of get her HP back up if she's able to land bindings and get some pools on the waves. Is maxing the binding there as well, which is a lot of front-loaded damage from that Morgana.
Oh yeah, and the duration is also increased on Dark Binding with levels. Unlike Light Binding, Virgin is a little in there with Apprehend. Jarvan will go in, Aphic trying to find something. 2 Light Bindings there, and nothing really comes off of it besides a little damage.
A little bit of back and forth. I don't know if we're going to see another all-in from Riot here. They really need to be careful because a mistake is going to hurt them quite a bit. We almost have all the ults up for Community, and they kind of have weak members right now because Morgan and Bacon haven't died. Sorry, Bacon has, but Morgan hasn't died yet, and he's holding a lot of gold right now.
Yeah, one thing that Riot keeps doing on their engagements, they all group together on top of one person whenever they go in, and that really sets them up for that.
Yeah, Slumberjack's going to go in. He's going to take the laser beam, and Sacred Sea in there taking a lot of damage. Absolute Zero not going to be interrupted again, and a lot of damage coming down as Riot's very low, but no kills have come out yet, and it's a double kill for Riot as they stack CC so efficiently and able to pick up those kills.
You know, I was about to say, they all keep stacking up for all the AoE damage on Community side, but it just wasn't there. They weren't ready for it. Center Virtue gets pulled by the Apprehend. Almost taunted. Almost. Oh, Tarfu.
The hyperkinetic position reverser being wasted on a black shield. Tarfu with the heal baits Baconhawk into death as a 2-0 exchange ensues right here. No slow coming out of CD Improv. It's going to be Jarvan. Dives in for the dunk onto Lux, but trading his own life. So a 1-for-1 exchange there. Overall a 3-for-1 though, as I whack my microphone and probably cause a lot of extra noise for you guys at home.
I didn't hear it, but okay. And
I hit it pretty hard.
Turret there. Sacred Sea will get the aggro there. Not a lot of damage on the turret, or either side really so far. Only a few hundred knocked off them.
Yeah, it was a scary chainsaws out of the Full Metal Ramus. They didn't want anything to do with it.
Nope.
Nobody wants the business end of a Slumberjack's Slumber Blades coming out there.
I remember,
appropriate though.
I don't really remember seeing that shield particle effect on him before. He does go in and get Center Virtue with the taunt.
Yeah, he's going to be the first one to die to the Absolute Zero, which they will interrupt this time. A 1-for-1 exchange. Sacred Sea going to go down next. And that's going to be a re-engage from Aphic, jumping on to CD Improv, who's very low and will get shut down. But Lux going to trade another kill right there. Baconhawk going all the way in, has the spell shield, and Lamau Parrot forced to flash away. Can they get a slow on top of that? Tarfu landing the light grenades, but a flash dunk out of Aphic picks up a kill and is going to trade his life to turret damage. Morgageddon,
No.
Very close, but will survive. 5-0 and 14 right now, with tied for the most CS in the game.
And almost
Morgan goes for the perfect game
right now. Yeah. A lot of cash unspent on that Morgana there. Finding a lot of interesting items picked up across the board here. The Rod of Ages rush for Lysandra, Last Whisper rush on CD Improv there. Lux doing what Lux does. He got the Athenians and Death Cap early. The first item, what is it? Randuin's. Rojan going for the Apprehendo.
Yeah, and there's a reverser onto Slumberjack, who's very far forward. Sacred Sea, though, going to get locked down. A good amount of damage coming out, but everybody's they're just so tanky on the Riot side. Hex Drinkers and Magic Resist galore. The re-engage, a mistake, and that's going to be a dead Armadillo as Center Virtue tries to get the Absolute Zero, but the Infinite Duress locking him down. Rojan grabbing some good apprehends and getting 2 kills for the work that he's been doing, but very low. He's going to fall. Aphic with a great triple knock-up, forcing a flash out of Tarfu, and they're running from the Morgageddon, who's only got 77 AP, just a baby Geddon.
That was probably the first time we've seen an even kill trade in a while. 2 for 2 on both sides. Not. It was actually pretty even. Not just the kill trade, but like the health trade that was left. A lot of members left really low. No one able to push. And nice. Even
That is
overall.
a fat Poro. It might explode.
One more biscuit.
Oh,
You
it
need
needs a biscuit.
Center Virtue to go in.
This Poro needs a biscuit.
Oh, it went to the wrong Poro. No, my goodness.
Oh, sad days. Sad days. That's just gonna be a hungry Poro.
No.
Look at it. It's gigantic. It's the size of a cannon minion.
It is pretty. It is. Wow. I never actually compared them before. That is really big.
It's monstrous.
No, it
It's
was
like a beach ball sized Poro. Center Virtue just a little too close, and now Center Virtue's gonna pay for not exploding that Poro as they all jump onto Nunu, pick up one kill. Tarfu, Cataclysm, taken out by Jarvan the fourth, and now Sacred Sea in a rough spot, 5v1 pretty much, and will go down as well. And CD Improv sitting in the backline doing all kinds of damage, but just never enough to turn around these kills as the CC just gets laid, you know, in rows, droves of CC coming out of Riot as they continue to dive in and pick up kills. 15 to 27 right now as they take out the second turret of the game.
I really have to question the last Whisper Rush. Yes, armor penetration is really valuable on Urgot, but really need the cooldown reduction to get the extra acid hunters out there, like get a brutalizer or something, get parts of the frozen heart in there, and really just finish off that man immune earlier.
They really want this inhibitor right now. There comes
yeah.
the stun at onto Bacon Hawk, and they're not going to get it. They're going to trade 4 lives and ultimates for nothing as Morgan backs out with the perfect
really want
score.
to chase Morgan down, but no, they're really only going to get to push this turret in. A lot of death timers there, but they're still really short, only 14 minutes into this game.
Yeah, the Last Whisper's a good early item, but she was probably expecting them to build a lot of armor. And right now, the only thing coming out is the Locket. They all...
Does the Locket even give armor anymore? I thought they took
Oh, no, it
off.
doesn't. You're right.
No, it
So
doesn't.
There's no armor on the other side other than the Doran's Shield, which don't even really count because they're kind of a basic attack reduction, not actual armor.
Now, the general rule of thumb when you're building penetration, the lower penetration always...
Tarfu's gonna get caught out.
Oh, and the dunk comes on the parrot. Oh, that call him out. Will he get it? Nope.
Whoa.
No, he takes it.
And Roden just
But,
going
yeah.
all in.
Generally, when you have lower defense values, it's flat penetration that does better. When you have higher, it's percent penetration that does better. So in this case, against a low armored team, Last Whisper, it does have its use, but it's just not as effective early, apart from just like base armor reduction.
Oh, Sacred Sea tries to go in. Gonna be forced to flash out of that one. Slumberjack has a good amount of HP now. The ult is up, and they're gonna pick up another kill. Darius being credited with that one. Slumberjack taking some damage. A flash in from Bacon Hawk as they jump onto Center Virtue. Tarfu now in the front line gets binded up, taking a lot of damage, but so many shields coming out as they're trading a 3 for 3, excuse me, right now. But Bacon Hawk and the amount of sustain coming out of that Warwick is just ridiculous. After you have the Spirit Visage and some, CDR, which the Spirit Visage also adds to it, along with the Locket, she's just able to stay up in that front line with her the skin of the beast to protect her.
And the first real armor item comes out. There's a chain vest on Bacon Hawk right now. Really just wanting to tank up as much damage as possible. He has she has the Spirit Visage for the extra heals, and that's just taking up as much damage from that front line and succeeding in doing it. Morgan 9-0 and 21 legendary after that last fight. And really, it's the damage of Morgan along with the dive potential from Jarvan and Darius that are
the flash
right.
dunk coming in on Tarfu. He's going to be the first one to fall. Sacred Sea getting locked down. Center Virtue with a good ult. It will pop, but the amount of MR on this team is just not doing enough. And now it's Community just running for their lives. CD Improv going to be the next one to fall down. Center Virtue going to get stunned and taunted up. And now it's 2 versus 4. Bacon Hawk getting locked up on the tower, taking so much damage. One more tower hit should do it. No! She gets the Q off. but will finally fall. And now it's Sacred Sea as they just trading out the towers back and forth. Morgeddon still going to survive. The laser beams not landing onto Morgeddon, which is he really needs to die. And now they're going to jump on a Tarfu with so much CC. Dunk coming out of Darius. Rama's going to be able to pick up that kill. CDM Pro picking up 1 kill with the poison. As Sinner Virtue's going to come in here and just try to defend a little bit. Not too much going to be able to do. Summoner Heal will come down and just kind of trading back and forth. The Tremors from Rammus is back up. Lamad Pro able to lock them down. Lee Sin is here. Afik trying to pick up a kill, not able to do so, and now has to run for his life and not going to make it out alive. That's game over. Sacred Sea picking up that one. The AD for their team, along with Urgot, the only AD alive, kind of pushing up here. And overall community hangs on, even though a 6k gold deficit.
Yeah, none of them... I was thinking that really they don't have a lot of wave clear to take care of these minions, and certainly not like decent DPS to clear them either. And they're losing a lot right now just because of minions pushing in. They have like some wave clear from Loxbow with the supers, and they're just buffing the whole wave. It's not doing a lot of its job. Lee Sin and Urgot have decent damage, but it's all single target. Virtue. Hold in Erosion, but again, nothing.
Got a powerballing Rammus. Another binding though onto Sinner Virtue. They don't want to engage onto the Nunu. It looks like they're still, they're landing bindings, but they're like, there's bigger fish to fry. A lot more damage coming out of Tarfu and pretty much everybody but Sinner Virtue, who's itemized much more towards that support role. With a Rylays, which is a weird item to see on a snowball throwing champion as well.
You got the slow stick on top of the snowballs. Lumberjack trying to get in here and just is slowed down just going in.
And there's the all-in. Lamad Parrot though gonna have a good ult, locking herself up, keeping herself alive. There's the Morgana ultimate. Sacred Sea trying to jump on Morgeddon, but will get rooted by the second tick of that ult. And that's going to be game over for Lee Sin, who tries to stay alive. There are shields to be had here. And now it's going to be a 2v1. Tarfu just doing work in the back line. Colleen going for the swap to try and get the health relic. Not going to be able to make it. Afik gets that kill. And that's a 4-for-2 exchange as they now work down this Nexus. And that might be GG.
Yeah, it should be the end of the game. Short respawn timers and not a lot of AD on Riot side though. That Nexus is going down really slowly.
Oh, the troll inhibitor comes up, and now Bacon Hawk is all alone. Earth trying to run out of there. A good laser from Afik onto Afik. He's so low. A flash snowball getting denied by the Black Shield. And now Bacon Hawk just getting hunted down. And she's going to become an endangered species right here as she falls. And the inhibitor not going to fall, so community gonna have one more shot to try and get another tower in here, as they are 5 strong, pushing against the super minions.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard pressed. It's really hard pressed for community to win right now. They're down only 6,000 gold. It's not as bad as the deficit was last game, but they're fighting without turrets, and especially without Nexus turrets. If they don't have anything to draw Riot under to try to get more damage on them, so they're really just fighting with what Riot has, for lack of a better word, comped against. They have such tanky divers right now that community just can't deal with them. Lumberjack
Poro's tongue is bigger than the rider on Nunu. Or is Nunu the rider?
No, Nunu is the rider. Willemp is the name of the Yeti.
So it's bigger than Nunu himself.
The snowball? Yeah.
No, the tongue on that giant Poro. And now it's Sinner Virtue who's going to get locked down. Waited, will pop the ult, but getting interrupted by Afik, so not an amazing amount of damage coming out of there. And here comes another Powerball from Slumberjack, looking for another target, going to find the Urgot, and Urgot being taken down so quickly. We'll get the reverser off, not going to matter. Tarfu going to fall. Afik so low, he's going to die. Sacred Sea picking up that one. Hex Drinker popped, and Lissandra's going to die in this. Oh,
almost.
now Lissandra's going to die in his back lane line, and Darius chases down Lee Sin for the ace on Riot.
Ace for one, and
Ace
once
on the
again,
community, excuse me.
very little AD able to push these structures down. Center Virtue going in once again, gets taunted. 1v4 is not going to be able to stop it. The Nexus will slowly go down, and this should be the win for Riot.
Yeah, that's going to be game over at about 2040.